Yo, 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 how y'all feeling? Y'all good? I know I'm good. You good?
I'm good.
I'm your host, Solomon.
This your girl, Toya.
And this is
The Be Different Podcast.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Be Different Podcast, man. It's your host, Solomon Buchanan. As you can see, got a special guest, man, on today's show. But before I let him introduce himself, y'all know y'all can listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and anywhere else where you listen to your podcast. All at the Be Different Podcast. Y'all make sure to go follow us on our social media pages, Instagram at _Be Different Podcast, X at _Be Different Pod, TikTok, Be Different Pod _clips. And anybody that would like to sponsor a video or be a guest on one episode, man, our business email is bedifferentpod06@gmail.com, man. But now that I got that all out the way, gonna let our guest introduce himself.
What's going on, y'all? So happy to be here. I'm Daylan Flowers. A little bit about myself. Born in Little Rock, Arkansas. Raised in Little Rock. Arkansas is home. My mom lives in Dallas, so Texas is also home as well.
Okay.
But I'm a senior journalism major at Ole Miss. Growing up, I went to East End Public Charter Schools my entire life, from kindergarten through 12th grade. I started my own podcast called The Daylan Show, entitled in my name, in 2020 during COVID. Just was giving myself something to do during the quarantine, and here I am 5 years later on season 5 and in the midst of that. And I'm a sports journalist. I cover Ole Miss athletics for the Rebel Walk, and that's been an opportunity that I've been about it and for about a year now, and I'm just super grateful for that. I started an internship with Locked On Ole Miss my freshman year, so I've been doing that about 3 years, and that's really opening some doors for me in terms of my future.
Okay.
So. That's a little bit about myself. Obviously, we'll get more into things as we talk, but yeah, those are kind of like the brief things about me, man.
Okay, man. I appreciate you for coming today, man. Being on the episode of the podcast, man. Y'all make sure to go tune into my guy podcast, man, the Daylan Show. But we're gonna get into where y'all can listen to that and everything later on. But you see, he got the shirt on, man. Got to represent the brand. But just going into, like you said, you a senior here. You a journalism major. You work with Ole Miss Athletics as a sports journalist, man. So what drawn you to the world of just sports journalism? Like, what made you just want to start doing that,
It's a great question, man. There's a plethora of reasons. Just growing up, I'm an introvert, which is funny because what I do. But when it came to sports, growing up, I was a talker, and so I just knew that my life was going to be evolved around sports in some capacity. I've always loved sports to the highest level. I was an athlete growing up, and I really just growing up to depict sports in a way that I wasn't able to depict anything else. And on top of it, I love reading and writing growing up. My grandmother was an English teacher, so I was into books as a kid, and I still love to read when I can today. And so it's all kind of just confided into all of those things. I think I said this to a group of students that I talked to a few weeks ago, that this is the greatest job in the world because it doesn't feel like work to me. I'm busy a lot, but I get to be in a press box on Saturdays and covering a football team, and I get to hang out with Lane Kiffin and Coach Yo and Chris Beard. This is the coolest thing in the world to do, and I really mean that wholeheartedly. So that's how I kind of got into it as well. Stuart Scott was someone that I looked up tremendously. Rest in peace to him. He was really just impactful in my life as a young person. Like I said, I was just so indulged and loved into sports that when I was young, I could not sleep without the TV on. Like, I was just scared of the dark so much, but it would always find its way. My TV would always find its way on SportsCenter somehow, and I would wake up in the middle of the night and Stuart Scott was always on the TV, and so his passion, his compassion as well, but his self-identity. Stuart, had a lot of critics, and throughout his career, a lot of people just thought he was the terminology of, sometimes ghetto, out of character, but Stewart loved himself and he was always himself at all times. And I love that. That's something that I preach a lot as well, is just be you and be yourself. So Stewart was also a big uplift into saying that, okay, I can do this. There's another black man out there doing it the way he wants to do it, and he's successful in it. And so Stewart was a big inspiration for me saying and seeing that I could do this in this industry. And so Stuart Scott definitely had a great impact on my life and career as well. Man.
Okay, man. I like how you said he inspired you, like to say, be yourself and just be you. Because that's what I tell people all the time about the podcast. That's why I call the Be Different Podcast. That's what I preach, just being yourself, being different. Like God made everybody in their own image. So definitely. You got to shine in your light and just thrive in what you want to do. It's not about what everybody else has to say. But going into my next question, man, I saw that on your background information. You said that Stuart Scott inspired you when you said about the story you just gave. But was there anybody else in the sports journalism world that inspired you outside of Stuart Scott?
Definitely. I love that you asked that question, but as well, I love the statement that you just made. There are guys like Stuart Scott that I definitely love to watch and read about and listen and interact with how they talked about sports. But I've never been the one to say, okay, I idolize this person, because I think idolizing them, you then prepare yourself to be something or someone you're not. And I don't think that's going to be authentic in the long run for you to be successful in the sports media, sports journalism world. So Stuart was definitely somebody I love to watch and interact and learn from. And there's been a plethora of people. I love Dan Patrick, growing up and still do. I'm very picky about who I watch and listen to in terms of when it comes to sports. But Dan Patrick was definitely someone that at a young age, I think I just resonated with. I don't know, because I grew up around a lot of older people growing up, so I'm a little bit more mature. So Dan's age and experience in ESPN, and then as well him having his own thing, which was something that I wanted to do at a young age, really just impacted me and kind of, I don't know, his work, and with the way he does his show as well. He's has his own studio, but he has his own part, and then he has his buddies that also work with him in another part of the same studio. And I always just admired that. That's something that I wanted to be able to do once I got into the real world and having my own studio with my buds and talking about sports and interviewing people. So definitely Dan Patrick. Yeah. Brent Musburger was someone that I looked up to in terms of sports commentary, which is funny because I don't want to be a sports commentator, play-by-play, but Brent Musburger was a longtime ESPN play-by-play announcer for college football. And whenever I watch some of those old ESPN games, I'm like, this is what sports commentary is about. And Brent really just was always able to depict games in such a storytelling manner. Yeah. And it made you fall in love with him talking just as much as watching the game. And so Brent Musburger was somebody that I always loved to watch and listen to as well. There have been a lot of people, honestly. Some people close to me. But I think, Brent and Dan Patrick and Stewart have been, some of the biggest. Fred McLeod as well. Fred was the longtime Cleveland Cavaliers announcer. And growing up, basketball was my first love, so I watched a lot of the Cavs, and I watched LeBron a lot. So Fred's voice was always, on the TV. And Fred, he passed away in 2019, I believe. But he was one of a kind. He was always energetic and great catchphrases, and just really had a great emotion, and he showed that he cared about the game. And I think that's what I love about this industry, is that people are in it. They're not just in it to be in it. They love this.
They love the game. They love doing what they do.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why I think it's always resonated with me, but it's also been so easy to connect with people in it like you, is because we're all doing this because we have a passion for sports, whether that's because, we want to become a journalist, or, maybe being an athlete didn't work out for us, but whatever it is, we all have a passion for sports. So I always love that, and I love that the way that they went about those things. And so I think lastly would be All the Smoke podcast with, Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. They really do a great way in their show. They have great conversation, great guests, great videos, great thumbnails, and realistic topics too. Like I talk about sports on my show, but I've also started to grow and emerge outside of just, speaking with people in sports and talking about sports specifically. And All the Smoke has definitely been a show that I watch a lot and listen to, and kind of take some of the things that they do on their show and try to implement it on mine, because they've done such a fantastic job, and I am trying to continue and evolve my show as well. So those are some of the people that have definitely made an impact in terms of who I wanted to watch and learn from in sports journalism outside of Stewart.
Okay, man. Going back to what you said, I definitely agree with you. With everybody that's working in sports media, sports journalism, anything of that nature, they want to do it. You want to do it out of the love for the game. Like you said, with me being a former athlete, I always knew I wanted to work with sports media, be a sports analyst. But like you said, my athlete dreams didn't work. So like I said, like I told you at the beginning, I'm always talking sports with the guys. So I might as well just get started with a podcast or just say anybody. They just want to do it out of the love. Like you said, working with sports and doing this, it's time consuming. It take up a lot of time, but at the same time, you love doing it. Like we love doing what we do. So it's not about, oh, I gotta do this. It's gonna take up all the time. It's I want to do it. I want to give my time to perfecting my craft and doing this and doing all different things. And I do watch. I mess with all the Smoke podcast. Yeah, I be watching. I watch all the Smoke. You watch Club 520 with Jeff Teague.
Definitely.
Yeah. I like them too.
A lot
I like
of great
them too.
Comical guys on.
Facts.
They had me cracking up. They do a good job as well. Yeah.
Yeah, facts though. And like you said, you could just take some things from their show and implement it into your podcast. That's one thing I've been focusing on too lately, since we've been going on for a little bit over 2 years, just having different guests and different topics to bring in different people to watch it. Like, obviously the sports people gonna tune in, but it's all about, attracting a different crowd that's not been watching, they bring in, okay, we can talk about this life topic right here or this motivational topic right here. Just get those different people, interacting with the podcast and things like that, man. But when you first started your podcast, did you see yourself still up and running with the podcast and as far as you are now today when you first started, or was it just something like, okay, I'm going to start this and just see how far it goes?
Definitely not. Like I said, I had the intention of, I knew I wanted to be a sports journalist from about the age of 12. And the idea had popped into my head throughout, 12 till I started the show technically when I was 15. The first episode dropped about 2 weeks later when I turned 16. So 15, 16 when I started the show. But I knew I wanted to be in sports journalism at a young age. But I never really had a true thought of a podcast. But I was always wondering, okay, how can I do things to actually get involved in sports journalism at a young age? I had done different things in terms of sports photography and doing a little commentary and, PA announcer for my high school basketball team. Other than that, nothing much. But, COVID came about and it was just months going by that I was not doing anything. Like I'm sitting in the house, not working out, not going to school. Like COVID was so crazy. Like I was staying up every night with the guys on the PlayStation playing until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
I feel you, bro. Then you sleep all day, wake up in the evening, back on the game.
Literally, that's how
I know, bro.
Like that's how COVID was for me. Like it was that lifestyle. I left my room to take a shower and go eat, and that was it.
And that was it. Yeah,
literally.
Facts.
COVID, was definitely a hard time, but it gave me a great idea, and my mom a great idea. Shout out to my mom to start a podcast. We had talked about it and thought, what the idea could be. And at first, which is funny, is it was going to be specifically like a sports talk show. And when I say that, it was going to be like a, Chiefs Bills played last night or other night, talking about sports games, stuff like that. Yeah. But then I just kind of had a conversation with myself and God, honestly, and I wanted to understand, was this the greatest impact I could make? And it wasn't, So started the show in June of 2020, and my first episode, which is when I go back and listen to it, it's so corny and cringy, but I've come a long way, man. But it was basically just me introducing myself and the goals for it, and essentially the goal was to bring on people in sports, coaches, athletes, and journalists, and just depict their lives, and have them come on and share their stories and their wisdom and advice, and have some real meaningful conversation. And so throughout that first season, every season I've done 20 episodes minus this 5th season because it's a 5-year anniversary. So I just dropped episode 23 last week. Last weekend, and I don't know how long I'm going to keep going with the episodes for season 5, but definitely going to maybe 25, 30 episodes. But season 1, a lot of those guests were people that my mom had knew. So like episode number 2 was featuring Mardrakus Wade. He played at Arkansas in college, and he also was an assistant coach at Memphis at the time under Penny Hardaway, and now he's at Murray State as the associate head coach. And my mom, literally, funny story about Mardrakus, how we met. My mom sent him a tweet years ago when he was still playing in Arkansas. She was like, hey, my son and I are big Razorback fans. Could we come to a game? He responded on Twitter, got us his personal tickets, and I've stayed connected with Mardrakus since 2013 to now. He's one of my brothers. So like throughout that first season, a lot of those people my mom knew. After I got through about episode 5 or 6, I was like, okay, I don't know what to do in terms of more guests. One of the guys I actually had on, Terrell Williams, he was my barber. He connected me with some people that he knew in terms of Gabe Lynn, who's also he played at Oklahoma as a player, but he's also the safeties coach at UCLA now.
Okay.
And Kobe Hamilton, who played at Arkansas under Ryan Mallon, also played for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long time.
Hey.
And so it was just connections, man. Like getting to people that my mom knew, and some of the people I knew as well, and just building those connections with them. And they were like, okay, this kid's trying to do something. I believe in Daylan. They kept on connecting with people, and as well, some like one of my high school teachers, he also connected me with some of people he knew in terms of like track athletes. And so after I finished the first season, I was like, okay, what do I do now? I literally didn't know because as I said, I just started because of COVID. I think at some point I would have done a podcast, but COVID just gave me the great opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
But after I finished the first season, I genuinely didn't know what was next, where I was going to go, what was I going to need to change. But a few months later, it was like, okay, let's do a season 2.
Exactly.
So I changed the aspect of when I was doing season 1, I was only doing audio only. Season 2, I started doing, visuals and, face-to-face conversations via computer and virtual. So that was fun. Season 2 was fun. But after season 2, I'm like, okay, what do I keep going?
Exactly.
Is there
keep going.
And so
stop. Yeah.
Season 3 came, and season 3 was definitely the hardest because that's when I got to college. And having the capacity to do the episodes when I was in high school was a little bit easier. I had like 3 classes my senior year, and the year before I was in COVID, and so it was a little easier. Had more time. Then I got to college, different place, different lifestyle. Yep. It was kind of hard to just find availability and a free space to record. So I finished season 3. And I took about a year off.
Okay.
So the last episode of season 3 dropped February 2023. And the first episode of season 4 dropped in January 2024.
Okay.
Throughout that time, I kind of just took some time for myself, my mental, but as well, I really sat down with myself and said, okay, how can I grow and evolve my show?
Okay.
And I changed my analytics. I changed my engagement. I changed my thumbnails. I changed my titles of my videos. That was the point where I said, okay, maybe let's start bringing in people outside of just sports. Even though it says the voice of sports on my show, how do we start bringing in a broader audience? And so that's what I did. In season 4, brought in some news anchors, some music artists, some entrepreneurs, some different coaches as well. And it was fun. It really was. It gave me a different aspect and broader insight of what I wanted to do. And, from season 4 on, it's definitely been a good change. And I am in season 5, just blessed and thankful for everybody that supported my journey because no one has to, and they have. And I appreciate everybody that's come on my show and given me some of their time. So it's just been a fun 5 years, but I definitely did not see myself still doing this 5 years later in the midst of a 5th season and having the guests that I've had on and having over 100 episodes produced. It's just been a blessing, but definitely did not, when I started, see myself getting this far with it. And it's been such grateful. It's opened so many doors for me as well, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, trust me, that's a great story right there, bro. 5 years strong. Like, and my podcast, we only been going 2 years, but still, though, great, like, people don't understand, bro, like, how much time and effort that it actually takes into going into a podcast. Like, it's more than just sitting down and talking. It's, like you said, getting a guest on the show that you want to have. Then getting everything set up so you can record, editing the show, getting it out there, like I said, getting the people to engage and different things of that nature. So, like, hey, it's definitely a struggle, bro. I'm proud of you, bro.
It's a good struggle, though.
It is.
It's funny that you say that. It's like people also, I don't know if people realize that, like, to do what I do, I also have to rely on other people. So, like, there have been so many people that, I was supposed to record with, I never heard back, or they like, hey, I got busy. Can we do this again? I still have never gotten to them. Or there's been a lot of people that I've reached out to. They say, yes, I'd love to. And then I never hear back. Or there have been some people that are like, so in terms of, I guess, popularity, I have to go through so many different avenues to get them on. And it's just like so much of a hassle. So I love that you say that because like to do what I do, I love what I do. It's not about me. My name's on it, but it's not about me. But I also do kind of have to rely on other people.
Exactly.
But it's a blessing, man. I really do love what I do. Seriously.
Hey, thanks, bro. And then, like, it just all go back to what you're saying, bro. Like, when you do it, it doesn't feel like a job. It's just something that you want to do, man.
It's the best reward there is.
Yeah, facts.
It is.
Facts, man. But what are some challenges? Like, I know we talked about, like, you really just got into that question. Like you said, just going through, trying to get the guests and rescheduling and other thing. But, like, what can you say has been some of the biggest challenges you faced so far in your journey? Whether that's with your podcast, with just doing the sports journalism here on campus, with Ole Miss Athletics, just in general.
Man, so I love that question because honestly, I'm dealing with it right now, and I think you're going to deal with it no matter what age you are, what you're going through. It's just ambition is very dangerous. I want to be as successful at everything that I do. I want to be the best at everything I do, and so what comes with that is I'm literally on the run all the time. Like my days usually start like I got up at 4 a.m. this morning, and I'm doing this with you, and I have another show to do tonight, and I have a lot more editing and homework to do. So there's no telling what time I will go to sleep, and my day will probably start around 5:30 tomorrow too. So in saying that, the biggest challenge is me prioritizing myself sometimes and giving myself some time to rest and giving myself some grace because. Nobody's perfect. You know, Jesus is perfect and that's it. I can strive to be as good as I want to be, but I'll never be perfect. And so giving myself grace to understand, dude, you've been doing a podcast for 5 years. You've had over 100 episodes produced. You're doing a really good job.
Exactly.
You know, there are a lot of people that are still trying to find their strides and understand what they want to do, but you're doing it. Exactly. And whether you realize it or not, you've inspired people. You've helped people's lives because what I love the most about my job is the people that come on. You know, they'll say, Daylan, thank you for allowing me to come on and share your story. Or when Colin Cody, one of the guys I finished season 4 with, on the Instagram post that I did around him, to promote it. He was like, you created an open and comfortable environment for me to come on and share my story. And he said, thank you. That means everything to me. Like it really does. So I'm working on giving myself more grace. I'm working on reminding myself, you got to rest. You got to get some sleep because you can't do this if you're not taking care of yourself. So I think that's been the biggest challenge is trying to do everything and be kind of Superman, even though I'm only human. So that's definitely been one of the biggest challenges, trying to do everything and balance it all because college is college and classes especially around this time get so hectic, and so I'm trying to balance classes, I'm trying to balance my social life, I'm trying to balance the show, I'm trying to balance the Rebel Walk, I'm trying to balance Locked On Ole Miss, I'm trying to balance the clubs that I'm a part of and organizations I'm a part of on campus. I also work in the media and singing choir at my church, so there's just so much going on, and I love everything that I do, and I'm blessed that I'm able to be in the positions that I am. But I'm still growing and trying to find, okay, you got to just take a little bit of time for yourself sometimes. You really do. You can only do so much. So I'd say that's probably been the biggest challenge in life and in the career as well. And there have been other things as well. Just, trying to do this for as long as I have. Like I said, you deal with some people that, are really kind, and you deal with some people that, make your head hurt sometimes.
A lot of different personalities.
Yeah, and so it's grown on me to understand that everybody's not like me, and, everybody may not be as outgoing, kind as I am, but I do my best to always be as kind as possible because my thing is this. Somebody's watching me, some person in this saying, I want to do what Daylan is doing, or I can do it because Daylan is doing it. And so I hope that I continue doing this, not because of I want to be successful and be rich, but because I'm inspiring somebody else, because I'm able to give back to people that gave into me. Like I told you earlier, I spoke to a group of writers, freshmen and sophomore writers a few weeks ago, and it was such a joy because I was invited by their manager to come out and speak, and that was really just a great moment for me. So I would say just balancing it all and keeping myself poised and focused and loving myself has been the biggest challenge. Other things I don't really see as challenges. There are headaches, and life comes with headaches. And I really don't see it as like a negative connotation, but I'm learning how to love and take care of myself most of all, because that's what matters the most. If you're doing that, you're able to be successful in what you do, but if you're not, you can't be successful in anything.
Hey, you're right about that, and it is something that I struggle with too, like just giving myself grace, because I know and see what I want to do at the end. Like I know what it's going to take, and I know the work that I have to put in, so it just be hard for me to be like you said, sit down and think, okay, bro, you got the podcast running, you doing this, you doing it, like you accomplished some things already. Like, yes, it's not as much as I want to, but it's still something. Yeah. Like you said, so it's just, I definitely feel what you coming from with it. Just giving yourself grace, because like you said, you know your body, you know when you're tired, you know when you need rest, so you know, like, okay, I need to just calm down. You just got to listen to your body. You can't ignore it. Just got to watch the sign. Like I said, just know, okay, I'm tired. I need to just calm down.
And if you don't mind me adding, I think that is the importance of having a great support system, from family and friends, because they have been able to remind me that you're doing enough. You're doing a great job. People telling me that they're proud of me, or people wearing and buying my merch, and supporting me. A good support system will continue to uplift you even when you're tired or unwell or unrested or even kind of doubting yourself. So a good support system, my great support system, my family and friends, I thank God for them every day, because I don't know where I'd be without them.
Okay, yeah, man. You gotta have that family support, man.
Definitely.
Got to, bro. You got to. But going to the opposite of this question, man, what can you say is big as your biggest accomplishment so far, just on your journey? Whether, like I said, this with your podcast, with any of the internships you've done, or just anything you've done in general.
I love that question. And this may sound corny to some people, but this is who I am. My biggest accomplishment is not changing who I am because of any type of success or because of any type of notion that I'm, have a little bit of, popularity. Like my people, friends and family, people that I don't even know would be like, hey, you're famous. You got a podcast. You cover Ole Miss. I'm like, I appreciate it, but I'm not famous. But I told this group of student writers a couple weeks ago this as well. Stay humble. You're never bigger than anything. You're not better than anyone. And that is a big daily reminder for myself. No matter how successful you end up getting, how big you end up, being, you're not better than anybody else. You got to be humble, because being unselfish means nothing, and being a-hole means nothing, and being rude to people means nothing. So my biggest accomplishment is that I never have wavered to be something outside of myself. And I do my best at all times to be kind and respectful. And when people want to have questions, or people, want to talk to me, I do my best to go out my way to be kind and do so and give them my time, because there are people out there that, like I said, really just come up to me and say, I love what you do, or I love your work. And I'm like, I appreciate that so much. You have no idea that means to me. And I think that a lot of people get away from that. And so I've been doing this for a long time, but I always do my best to be kind and respectful. And I never, ever plan to get away from that. And I think that's my biggest accomplishment, that I love to just see people for people, and be realistic and have meaningful conversations and great connections with people. And throughout that, it's allowed me to be in touch with more people, because at the end of the day, you can, work as hard as you want, but if you're an a-hole and you don't, have great, conversational skills, you're not going to be able to connect with anybody.
And nobody going to want to be around you. Exactly.
And so I think that it's a testament to my mom and my family for raising me the way they did, that, I'm able to be as respectful and kind as I am, and have conversations the way that I know how to, because I was raised in that proper manner. And so that's my biggest accomplishment, man. Like, that I've continued to be the son, the child, the person that my mom and the family raised me to be. And I will always waver that to myself, to my peers, whenever I have a wife and kid one day, that be pure and be kind and be honest and be respectful, because being an a-hole and being selfish wouldn't get you nowhere. No matter how cool you may think it is, just be kind to people, because you never know what people are going through. So if you're kind to that one person, it may change their life. So that's my biggest accomplishment, man.
Hey, man, I like that. Like, so a lot of people not going to say what you just said is their biggest accomplishment, but it goes back to what you just said at the end. Like, you never know what people going through. You never know how that one conversation or interaction with that person can change your life. Like, I remember last year one time, I'm at Toyota here in Oxford getting an oil change. I'm on the phone with my grandma telling her about it, whatever. I say I'm from Oklahoma. It's a lady in there. She said, you from Oklahoma? I got family down in Oklahoma. I'm telling her I go to school here. Long story short, we connected, got a scholarship.
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just opportunity. Just literally the way you talk to people, the way you just act, carry yourself. Like, you never know who's watching you. You know, so you just, like you see, you just got to be respectful, be kind. Cause like, so you never know what people going through. You never know who's watching. Because, like you said, somebody's watching. Somebody's going to be.
Yeah, they are at all times.
At all times, regardless whether you think so or not. And especially with, like, people like you and like us. Like, we have podcasts. We have social media platforms. So, even if we feel like, okay, this video or this podcast episode not during the number that we thought somebody's watching.
Exactly.
Somebody's watching it. Somebody's tuning in. Like, okay, I like what this young man doing. I like how he's reporting the game or covering this sports topic and things of that nature, man.
I love that.
But what made you decide to come to Ole Miss?
It's another good question, man. You're doing good with these. There's a collection of reasons. It's just when growing up in Arkansas, I was a Razorback fan, thick and through. I still believe Razorback red till the day I die. But I just wanted something different. Like I spent so much time in Fayetteville growing up, going to basketball camps, going to football games. Like if people tune into my show, you'll see how many former Arkansas Razorback athletes I've had on the show and or coaches. My passion and connections with Fayetteville run so deep and forever will. But I wanted something a little different. Like I grew up in that environment. My graduating class, there were probably so many people that ended up going to Fayetteville. I just wanted something new, and I wanted something fresh. And Ole Miss and Oxford gave me that. You know, it's only about a 3.5 hour to Arkansas to see the family.
And they're not too bad.
It's not at all. And so when they want to come up, they do. Actually, funny enough, freshman year they started this thing. Myself, my mom, first cousins, and an uncle, and my grandparents. We started going to the Arkansas Ole Miss football game every year. So my freshman year was in Fayetteville. We all, confined in Fayetteville that year. And then my sophomore year was in Oxford. And, this past year was in Oxford. It's just a fun time. And, it's really, it's brought me a good piece of, relationship with my family that I wouldn't have had, I think, if I went to Arkansas or to another school. And so my family, and especially my grandma, it's a cool little 3.5 hour drive. She loves to come up here and, visit Oxford and see the things and see the square. And I think that was something that I really wanted as well, a little bit of proximity. Like I wanted to go out of state, but not too far. I did think about going to some places such as St. John's in New York, but I just thought that was too far for me at that age. But Ole Miss just fit the category of I wanted a SEC school, but I didn't want something that was too big because I was very close to also going to Alabama. But I wanted something that was kind of small and had a close, tight-knit, family-oriented town. And that's what Oxford was and is. And it just fit the bill, which is funny enough. I'll give you a quick little story. My mom had me touring colleges at 9 years old, man. So the first ever college I ever went to was Fayetteville. My second stop was in 2013. Which was Oxford, Mississippi. And I'll tell you that I did not want to come here. Like I said, at that time, when I was young, I wanted to be a Razorback, nothing else. But my mom forced me. She was like, you got to explore and try different things. I said, okay. Came down here. I just fell in love, man. I fell in love with the town. I fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with the people. And at the time, the dean was a man named Charlie Mitchell. And we talked for about 30 minutes that day. And he sold me. He really did, and which is funny enough. He's actually one of my professors this semester, and so it's a funny way the world works and the way God works. But Oxford just felt at home, and when I got accepted in my senior year of high school, I didn't really even make a decision to consider anywhere else. And I'm glad I haven't. It was the perfect match for me because as well, I get those people that say, "Why Ole Miss?" Well, I hope that, like I said to you earlier, I'm the representation for somebody that is black, that sees me doing it, and they may not want to be a sports journalist, but sees me here in this environment thriving, and they say, if Daylan can do it, I can come here and do it too. Exactly. And I think that's what James Meredith integrated the school for, because he wanted, people of color to have the same opportunities here as in anywhere else. And so I'm just really thought I could do that at Ole Miss, and I really believe that I have, and I've changed some people's lives, and I've impacted some people's lives, and God just told me to be here. For some reason, He did, and so I listened to Him, and I've put on this 3.5, almost 4-year journey in Oxford, and I've loved every single second of it. It's really been a great home for me, and I've met some of my best friends and family. I call them my family members. They're friends, but we've gotten so close. They're family to me now, and I've met some incredible people that have stuck out their arms to see me be successful. And so Oxford really just kind of fit the bill with what I wanted in life. And it's been the best decision I ever made, man.
Okay, man. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like you said, Oxford, I tell people all the time, yes, Ole Miss is in Oxford, but if you just come to Oxford, unless it's a home game on the weekend, you really ain't gonna be able to tell this is a college town. Yeah. It's cool, it's not too big, you got your places that that you need in a good time. Like say everybody here. Well, I ain't never met no bad people here, but like everybody I done met and talked with, always been friendly, always been
definitely.
nice people, been like able to connect with. It's never been on nothing like no crazy stuff, no disrespectful, none of this crazy stuff like this. So like, I definitely agree with what you said. Oxford just got that. It's like it's just comfort here.
Yeah,
like,
it is. Yeah.
I don't know how to put it in words, but it's just you just get comfort here.
Yeah.
Like you said, I can't explain it, but if you go to Ole Miss, you just know like
it's always felt meant to be for me. And like I said, growing up in Monticello, not growing up, but that's where my family, my grandparents, great grandparents, and uncles lived there. They have we have a family farm, so I grew up there a lot, and I'm really just like old and old soul and country oriented in that way, and Oxford kind of fit that bill, and so I've always really just enjoyed that kind of small town environment. That's what Oxford is, but as well. I get those people, even some of my peers sometimes, that are like, "Oh, there's nothing to do in Oxford. It's so boring." And I'm like, "There's literally so much to do. There's so much to explore and do. There's so many food options to do, and it may not be exactly all in Oxford, but like Water Valley, Sardis. I love going to Sardis Lake. Like there's just so much to do. There's so much to learn. Like Ida B. Wells is one of my favorite historical people ever, and her museum, her birthplace is right up at the road in Holly Springs. So there's so much to do in Oxford. You just have to make it fun. Like you have to find the right people and make it fun. And literally, I've had the time of my life here, and so Oxford has really just been a great home. And I just thank God, He put me here, and He put me here for a reason.
Yes, sir, man. But going into these last few questions before we talk about some sports, man, how far do you see yourself ultimately going in the sports journalism field? Like, what is your not end goal, but what is something that I'm going to work the hardest to get to this position?
I don't really know, man. I think just keep evolving my show as big as possible because, I do what I do for the people, but as well, I'm able to do it at the highest level when I get people to subscribe and follow and connect with me. So keep growing that as big as possible. I talked about Dan Patrick and his show. Pat McAfee does a great job with his stuff, and he's grown and evolved to kind of be the guy at ESPN, honestly, with his show. And that's something that I would love to kind of do is have my own show with the guys and be at college football stadiums and talk to coaches and players and have athletes on whether it's virtually and talk to them in my show and just talk about sports, but as well dive into real things as well sometimes. So just grow the show as big as possible because I'm making an impact with it. And people really do. It's kind of sometimes like therapy for some people to come on and just talk and talk about themselves and share their wisdom and advice. And so grow the show as big as possible. I would love to also maybe be a little bit of a studio host maybe. So something in that realm. And as well, I say this to people when they ask me what I kind of want to do in the future. I'm kind of already doing it. Covering sports for a college program. I would love to obviously be maybe in the national market one day, but I'm not rushing that at all. I'm trying to enjoy this lifestyle because I want to be able to make all the mistakes that I can here because once you get to that LA, that New York, that Dallas, that Philly, that's when you kind of have to be not perfect, but you have to be on your P's and Q's at all times.
You do at all times. It's not gonna be you got this person above me and show me what I'm mistaken or what I'm wrong, get to correct me. Now you gotta no, I got to do this right. I do this right, or I'm not gonna have nobody tell me that.
So that's I guess maybe the end goal is to work for a big market, work in a big market, and cover a national NBA, NFL, something like that, focusedly. But I'm already living out my dreams with the podcast, with the Rebel Walk. There are some things that I can't talk about yet that just in terms of contracts that are coming up in the near future for me, and so I'm just blessed for all those things and maybe a little TV production and editing as well in that realm. But those are some of the things that I hope to be doing. Like I do photography as well. I love to do photography, but I don't know if it's necessarily something I would do forever. Or kind of more serious, and I write now for the Rebel Walk, and I don't know if that's necessarily my end goal. I do love to write, but it's not something I would just sit here and say I would love to do forever.
Yeah, I feel
so just continuing to grow the show and maybe working in some type of aspect, not as a TV or sports anchor, but like a studio host, like not Ernie Smith, but like be on a show like ESPN. You know, that's crazy to say ESPN now, but like with you know Ernie and Shaq and Charles and Chuck, and some type of that role with some people that I just could have a good time with and laugh and talk sports with, so something in that role, and just keep growing, man. There's so many things that I would love to be involved in. I just, you know, keep on taking one day at a time.
For sure, one day at a time. And going back to something you said about having people on the shoulder where they can just, you know, be free and just let loose. That's one thing I appreciate, like when people tell me about former guests I had on the podcast, when they tell me at the end of the show, man, I appreciate it just how we can just talk about anything where they can just let their guard down and just express themselves freely, man. Because people be needing it. Like,
they do.
Like, this is a podcast, but it's almost like a mini therapy session as well. Because, like, they just get everything out that they feel based off the question, based off their own opinion, just things of that nature. So,
and I love you bring that up as well, because that's what, like, I do this for. It's, again, it's not about me. It's not about my success. But, like, off the top of my head, I was talking about, you know, Ernie and them. But there was a guy, his name is Tim Kiley. Quick little story, and I'll shut up. But this guy named Tim Kiley, he was a producer for NBA on TNT for 30 years.
Okay.
He retired in 2023 after the Eastern Conference Finals, and I was like, that's a crazy story that he's been the producer for that long. So he's the one that hired Ernie. Exactly. And he saw all the behind the scenes of Kenny coming on and Charles and Shaq. And so TNT actually posted that night, you know, TK's last night, you know, share your love in the comments. And I did. And his son liked the comment. And I was like, oh, okay. So I actually followed his son. His son followed me back, and I DM him a few months later. I was like, hey, man, I got my own podcast. I would love to have your dad on. And we got him on. And so and TK came on. It was probably one of the best and most contagious laughter episodes that I've ever had. And so, and what's funny about that story is his wife literally after texted me and was like, that was the best and most insightful and meaningful podcast she's ever done. She said thank you. And so that's what I do it for. Like I love to see people smile because of what I do and have these conversations that allow them to share their life stories, because everybody's got a story, and it's also meaningful to be able to share with people. And so, and you said this as well earlier, that it doesn't matter if it's, you know, I've done some of my best episodes, my best people, and it's only got like 60 views, and I'm like, dang, how am I not doing better? But that's those 60 people, I hope they took it and it helped their lives. So.
Exactly, took something. Like I said, just somebody's watching you. Hope, like I said, those 60 people took something to motivate them, to just inspire them to just keep going to whatever they're doing, or to get up and start doing something. Just some type of impact that you just hope that they're gained from your show. And this, like I said, it's just one thing that you just come with. Like I said, just that meaningful impact on people that's tuning in, that's watching, because they watching for a reason. Yeah, exactly, they watching for a reason, man. But what is some advice that you would just put into the young generation right now, man? Just looking to pursue a career in sports journalism, but just in general, just looking to pursue a career just in general.
First, I would say, I think there are about 5 things I would say. First is, like you said, be patient. I've been doing this for 5 years, and it's still not where I want it to be at. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to be patient. You have to stick with it, which is why I'm so thankful you invited me, but I'm also so proud of you, because there are so many people that my peers that start a podcast, you know, do it for a few episodes and then they stop. Or there are so many people that reach out to me, hey, I would love to do a podcast. They never follow through on reaching out to me and actually getting the goal to a reality. And so I really am thankful and just loving of people that actually care and are doing this for the right reasons, because like I said, I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm not where I want to be. You've been doing this for 2 years now, and I'm sure you're not where you want to be yet either, but it's going to come. You just have to be patient. You have to keep doing it for the right reasons. You have to keep treating people correctly, and you have to keep manifesting it. And when you keep working and you keep doing the things in the right manner, it's all going to work out. It may not work out when you want it to, but it is all going to work out, and I mean that wholeheartedly. So number 1, patience. Number 2, consistency. that builds onto patience, but you're not going to grow if you're not putting in the work to grow, and you're not putting in the work to be consistent. And I think that really was something that I learned when I took that year off from season 3 to season 4 is, okay, how do I be more consistent? How am I more engaged on my social media pages? And since, 2024, in 2023, 2024, I really have been more consistent in posting throughout the week and doing different type of videos outside of just posting about the people that I have on my show. And so just being consistent is very, very important. Number 3 is connections. It doesn't matter what you know, but it's about who you know. Like,
facts.
Literally,
Facts.
you people probably have heard this all the time in this industry, but it truly is about who you know. I've gotten through a lot of doors because I have a podcast, but not just because I have a podcast, but it's because of the people that I've had on that show that have stuck their necks out for me because they trust me and they've seen that I've worked so hard and I'm putting in a lot of work to be successful. And I thank them for that because they don't have to do that. They don't have to go out their way to do the things they do or say the things they say to people or connect me with people they know. But it's open doors. It really has. Like, the internship with Locked On Ole Miss, I got because I met this guy named Josh Neighbors in COVID, actually, because I went to a play-by-play sports broadcasting camp when I was a kid at 14. My mom actually forced me to go to that too. I didn't want to go, but she forced me, and I thank her for that. But I met Josh during COVID. They were doing a virtual camp that summer, and Josh and I stayed connected. And Josh is actually working for a radio station, 107.1 The Buzz, the number 1 radio station in Arkansas now. But him and I have stayed connected since he's literally one of my brothers. And freshman year, I was like, okay, that's actually when I started the year hiatus of my show. I was like, I want to start talking about sports a little bit more, and I want to get involved with Ole Miss athletics. How do I do that?
Okay.
Josh actually was at the time the host of Locked On Big 12, and he said, I know Stephen Willis, who runs Locked On Ole Miss. Let me connect you with him. Connect me with him. Me and Stephen chatted on the phone for about 30 minutes the next day, and Stephen and I are still going 3 years strong to today, and going to record with him. It's 7 tonight, and job opportunities have come about because of Locked On and Steven. And so, man, it's just funny because Locked On has now allowed the door to open for the Rebel Walk a year ago, because Evie saw what I was doing with there, and she was like, this guy's really working hard in this industry. So it's connections, man. Like, it literally is. So many of the people I've gotten on, it's just connections, and, making those connections is big, but it's also keeping and maintaining those connections as well.
Facts.
So patience, consistency, connections. Number 4 is, I don't want to cuss on here, but I spoke to these group of kids a few weeks ago, and I said, you have to give an F. So basically, you have to care. Nobody's going to want this for you. Nobody's going to go get it for you. Nobody's going to, believe in you if you don't believe in yourself.
Right.
So if you're not caring to make those connections, if you're not caring to be consistent, if you're not caring to ask questions, if you're not caring to go to this speaker event when you know someone's going to be speaking in your field, then it's not going to be, it's not going to work out for you. Simple as that. And so you have to care. You have to care to be successful. You have to care to meet the right people, because at the end of the day, I've always said this too. You never know who people know.
You're right.
Literally, you may think this guy that is coming to speak at Ole Miss, he may just cover Ole Miss for a local brand, but there's no telling who he knows and who he can connect you with. It's the connections that people know is outstanding. And so just caring will go a long way for you, because when you're caring in the classroom, your professors see that, and then they go out of their ways to say, this guy's caring in the classroom, let me connect him with some people, or let me write this letter of recommendation, help him apply for the scholarship, whatever it is, because you are showing that you care. So that really matters and goes a long way. When people see that you're caring and trying, even if you're not, successful, you want to be at that time. When you're trying and caring, it's going to put you in the right places. So those are the 4 things I would say. And then 5th, it kind of totals into a lot of different things, but I will say, like I said, in terms of being the biggest accomplishment for me, it's just being a good person. These doors haven't opened up for me because I was a rude person. These people have not opened their arms to me because I'm rude, or no one has incited their compassion to say, hey, Daylan, I love what you do with your podcast, or hey, Daylan, great article, or hey, Daylan, I saw your video. Like, so many people come up to me since the Oklahoma game and said, I enjoyed your video at Oklahoma. Like, they wouldn't be doing that if I wasn't, a kind person. I didn't treat everyone with respect. And if I was an a-hole, then, these people wouldn't be doing this and they wouldn't be reaching out. Like, there are people that I've never met before, but literally have bought my merchandise, have gone out their way to say, Daylan, you did such a great job. And so just being a good person, that's what matters the most, because you can try to make all the connections you want, but nobody's going to want to be around you, like we said earlier, if you're rude. So those are the 5 things I would say to somebody that wants to get into this, but as well, learn, and ask questions.
I always learn. One thing my grandma always told me was be a sponge. Soak up all the information that you can, man, in every room that you're in, because you never know when you're going to need it, who you're going to meet, who you're going to connect with, man. But this is a sports podcast, so we got to talk about some sports, man. You got to kick the leg up now. I got serious. Man, you got any, what's your favorite sports teams? Whether it's NFL, NBA, MLB, soccer, hockey, anything.
Sports is stressful for me, man. I don't have a favorite NBA team, but like I said, my mom does live in Dallas, so I have really tied into the Mavs over the last couple of years since she's been out there. And that Luka trade will forever live in my heart. And,
that was crazy.
It was. Like, I remember where I was at, how I reacted. But the Mavs have gotten close to me, I guess, even though I really don't claim to be a Mavs fan. But we went to some of their playoff games when they went to the finals that year, and it was just such a fun time, a super fun environment. My guy Daniel Gafford from Arkansas as well, he's out there, and he's really just always been awesome to me as well. So I guess maybe the Mavs, but even though I don't claim them, I watched the Lakers a good bit too because of Luka and Bron. I was a Bulls fan growing up because of D-Rose. D-Rose was my favorite player. But D-Rose. Technically no real basketball team I support, but I just watched some of my favorite players. Football, Cowboys fan, unfortunately. They break my heart every year. And
it's crazy.
A lot of misery.
Every person I have on the podcast that's a Cowboys fan, they Cowboys fan, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't know why I did this to myself when I was young, but I'm very big on sticking it out with your sports teams and being prideful.
You loyal, man. You're loyal to your team. That's how it's supposed to be.
Hopefully it works out in my favor one of these years. I'm not looking too up for me, but Cowboys fan, St. Louis Cardinals baseball fan. I'm an Arsenal soccer fan. That's probably the sports team I'm most passionate about. Arsenal, like in my car, I have an Arsenal raft lined up in my car. I have the Emirates Stadium in my living room. I have an Arsenal flag in my bedroom, and my bedroom back home. I have a jersey from every year that I've been a fan. I have a lot of jackets. Arsenal's my team.
Obviously there's a team there.
So, and I'm a Dallas Stars hockey fan. So those are my sports team, and obviously Ole Miss and the Arkansas Razorbacks are my college team. So those are the sports teams for me, man.
Okay, man. Okay, we can start off. You a Cowboys fan. NFL trade deadline coming up. A lot of moves been happening today. So, how do you feel about y'all moves so far? Well, the one I saw y'all made was the trade to get Quinn Williams from the Jets. That's my Bama boy.
Yeah.
Growing up, I was a Bama fan for college, so that's my boy. So, I feel like, for me, that's a good pickup. For me, in my opinion, for y'all. Got increased the interior defensive line, defense. What's your thought? Let me get your thought first.
I love Quinnen. Funny enough, I told you about Gabe Lynn earlier, who was the safeties coach at UCLA. His wife is Nicole Lynn, who was Quinnen's agent, actually. So I've always known nothing but good things about Quinnen. Great person and even better football player. I'm excited he's here. I think that it obviously is going to build on us. I think there was so much that went on after the Micah Parsons trade. It was like, okay, where do we go from here? What's next? And how much of an internal problem is going to be? Well, the defense has, I think, just gone away from a lot of the schematical things that help these players do good on our defense. And so I think that's a big problem with our new defensive coordinator. And I hopefully, Quinnen can come in and make some things happen. But I think it's also on the coaches to understand, okay, what is going to set your players up for the best moments and to allow them to succeed at every drive. And I just don't think it is right now for our coverage. I think we're running a lot of zone and 2-3, and I think if we ran a little bit more man and press coverage, it would help us out. But Quinnen, when you line him up with, Kenny Clark in the middle and the guys that are behind him, he's going to be successful. But it's all about, are we putting our players in the right schemes to be successful? And so I think, Quinnen's going to come in and obviously make things happen and be competitive and make the defense a little bit more competitive. But it's hard for me to sit here and say Quinnen is just going to come in and fix all the Cowboys' defensive problems. Like, we're so bad right now. Like, and it's so hard to watch because I'm a defensive guy. Like, when I was a basketball player growing up, I couldn't shoot the ball to save my life, bro. But anyone would tell you I was a defender. Like, I was going to lock you up. I was going to get in your body. I was going to get steals. I was going to chase the steals in the passing lanes. Defense is my thing, so that's correlated to football defense, to baseball defense, to soccer defense. I just love defense, man. So it hurts for me to watch my team be so bad at it. Especially coming off the years we were just so good with Dan Quinn for all these years and had all these guys, and now it's just like, how did we get here? So I think Quinn is going to be successful no matter where he goes. I just hope we use him correctly so he can be as successful as he can be.
Yeah, okay. I definitely agree with what you said. You got to make sure they all are putting the players in their best position to be the best player they can be. Yeah. So I definitely agree with you on that. Like you said, he's gonna thrive, especially with him and Kenny Clark in their inside. And am I not mistaken? Was that DeMarcus Lawrence? No, was that last night? Yeah. Okay. I knew it was. I thought I wasn't tripping. Okay, so yeah, like you said, we got the players. Got the players. Just got to put them in the right position to make the right amount of plays, the best plays.
And man, I think it'll come. And I love Shoddy. I think when he first got hired, I was like, but now that I've seen him interact with the players in the locker room, I do love Shoddy. It's just, first year head coach, completely new staff. It's gonna changes are probably gonna have to be made soon or in the offseason in terms of defense. But I believe in Shoddy can get the job done. So.
Okay, man. So what's your thoughts on the NFL season? Just in general.
It's been fun, man. Okay. It really has,
a lot of surprising teams.
Yeah, definitely. Like the Colts traded for Sauce Gardner today.
I was just about to get into
I think that now puts them in a fine position to compete for a Super Bowl title.
Facts.
And if you asked me, did I think the Indianapolis Colts were going to be able to do that 2-3 years ago, I would have said, heck no.
If you would have asked me this past offseason, I thought they was going to do that. No.
And it's crazy that they're, I think they've only lost one game this season.
No,
and now
they 7-2. Okay, they lost last week versus the Steelers.
So now they add Sauce. Sky's the limit for them.
Like me and my guys were talking about it in the group chat this morning. Like, I honestly like that pick.
I do.
My only concern about the Colts is Daniel Jones. Gonna make those plays when needed. But at the same time, my homeboy made the argument. He was like, when you got a good running game, your quarter, it take a lot of pressure off your quarterback, and that offensive line is amazing.
Yeah. I don't think he needs to. I think Daniel Jones needs to be a game manager. And limit turnovers and limit the bad or unnecessary throws. But I don't think he has to go out there and be a Pat Mahomes or A-Rod or I think he needs to be as good as he can be. He's in the NFL for a reason, but I don't think he has to be this superstar. I think, like you said, you have Jonathan Taylor, you have a good offensive line.
I like that tight end they drafted from Penn State, Tyler Warren.
Yeah, so when you have guys like that, be a good game manager. Like, Cam Newton always said Tom Brady was the greatest game manager ever, and a lot of people saw that as a knock, and it's like, no. He was the greatest game manager ever. Do I sit here and say that he had the abilities and tangibles as the greatest quarterback ever? No, I don't think he is, ability-wise the greatest quarterback ever, but he still has 7 rings, and everyone considers him the greatest because he did it when it mattered, and he controlled the game to the highest level. And so I think that's all Daniel Jones has to do. But this football season has been fun, man. Like, I don't hate the Chiefs like most people do. I was a big Pat Mahomes fan when he was in college, and I have really just stuck it out with him ever since he's been in college, and so I've always loved Pat. But it's fun. It is kind of fun to see them not, be at the top of the reins right now. Like, I saw...
It's different. It's something new. It's something new.
I think I saw a post earlier that said, like, right now they're not... if they continue on the road they're on, they're not going to make the playoffs, which is, like, insane to think, but...
It's insane knowing the past 5, 6, 7 years they've been... playoff contention, Super Bowl winners, Super Bowl in the game, being those Super Bowl contenders. So
it's been a fun NFL season, regardless of my team sucks or not. It's been fun to watch Dart up there with the Giants. Even though they're not going the way they want to, he's progressed so well, a lot better than I thought he was going to be doing as a rookie. I've watched it.
Not to mean to cut you off, but I also feel that the Giants can see a true future with Jackson Dart. Like you said, he's showing their progress. He's getting better. Like I said, really better than I feel like a lot of people expect him to be going into his rookie season. So
yeah, NFL's been fun this year, man, and I've really been watching more in the regular season than I usually ever do. Like my friend could tell you, NFL playoffs is my favorite time of the year. I don't know why, but I love the NFL playoffs more than anything. But you'll never really catch me watching the regular season much other than my Cowboys.
Yeah.
But this year I've been watching. I've been on Sundays watching games,
facts,
man.
and it's been a lot of good games, like games that you wouldn't expect to be good. Like this week, you would think, oh, this team gonna win the Super Bowl. Then they'll come back and lose to one of the worst teams in the league the next week, and now you confused on who gonna do what, who gonna make the not who gonna make the fly, but who's gonna be that number one seed, who really got the team that's gonna go the farther, man.
Yeah.
But hey, NFL definitely been interesting.
Yeah.
My Seahawks, we looking good this
Y'all
year.
are. Definitely.
It's
like someone asked me a few weeks ago, who do I think is going to make the Super Bowl? I genuinely don't know.
You don't?
Like
don't, bro.
It's the competitive this year is it's up there, and it could be anybody, literally.
It is. And then it's like I was telling the guys, I was like, bro, we talking about all these good teams having these like breakout years, but you can't tell me that Patrick Mahomes and them getting the playoff, like, we not saying that they got the chance to win the Super Bowl. Like, they've done it, they've been there, they've won. Like, even I was saying this because I was watching the Rams game the other day. I was like, the Rams not a bad team. And you got experienced quarterback in Matthew Stafford. Like, been there, didn't won the championship not too long ago.
Yeah. McVay's always been one of the best X's and O's guys in the league. So I've never counted out the Rams. And like you said about the Chiefs, if they get in there, they've got a chance against anybody.
Always.
So it doesn't matter if they're the lowest seed. If they get in there, they can compete. So
Exactly, man. But sticking on football, I had a question in mind. It literally just went out of my head. Okay, what's your thoughts about the Eagles? That's what I was thinking of the Eagles. Thoughts about the Eagles.
They're competing really strongly this year too. Obviously, I don't like them at all. Jalen Hurts is my guy though, but they're competing. I think that, like the Chiefs, when they get there, they've kind of really taken a little bit more control over the last 3 weeks, and I've seen them kind of surge to a greater point and kind of be on a little bit of a high run as the last 3 weeks have gone.
Okay.
I think they're moving in the right direction now, and I think when it comes to November, that's when you want to really start figuring out, okay, who can I rely on? Who are the playmakers? And are we going to be a playoff team or not? I think they found that out over the last couple of weeks, and I think this month is going to be very, very crucial for them. But I'm not going to count them out as much as I want to because I don't like them. But I think they've got a good squad. They've got a very well-coached defense. I think Jalen Hurts makes plays when he needs to make plays. And obviously you got Saquon. You've got Devontae Smith. You got A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
You got experience. Weapons. You got weapons. You just came off a Super Bowl. They know what it takes to win it. And so Philly's going to be there. They're going to compete, and they've got a great coaching staff and great players to do a lot of good things. So, wouldn't be surprised if they're going back-to-back this year. As much as that would kind of pain my heart, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. So,
Nah, face though. I definitely wouldn't be surprised, man. But one thing I always tell people on the show before we get over to some other sport, man, I want my boy Lamar Jackson to get on one.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I just feel like, I ain't gonna say he deserves it, but I definitely feel if he does get one,
I'm gonna be happy.
I'm gonna be happy, and it's gonna submit his resume.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like he MVP, in my opinion, the best dual threat quarterback we've ever seen. Like just genuinely a dual threat that's gonna run and pass the ball like a true quarterback. And I mean, like, he's won games. Like he didn't came into the Ravens franchise. He didn't turn them around. He didn't did what he was supposed to do coming in. I just want him to get that ring, man.
Yeah, me too, man. It's like he's always just been so humble and a good guy, and had a lot of criticism towards him because of his dual threat abilities. But as well, they've not gotten over the hump for so long. I want to see them finally do it. And I like I said, the playoffs is my time of the year. So I remember in like was it 2022 or 23? No, it was 2022 when Ryan Tannehill and the Titans went down there and beat them. And last year they couldn't get it done against the Bills again. It's just like they have the moments to do it. They have the players to do it. Lamar's been great. It's just the play calling in some of these crunch moments, and even just some of the guys not showing up on both sides of the ball in the playoffs. Hopefully they can get it done this year. I really do, like you said, I really do want Lamar just to get one. Like I'm not a Ravens fan, but I really would just be so happy if he does get that, because it feels like a weight will be lifted off him, because he really does deserve it. He's worked so hard. He's performed at a high level, and I think Baltimore is one of those sports towns that deserves a championship more than any other sports town as well, man.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on this statement, man. But jumping over to the other side of sports, man, you got a favorite NBA team, favorite basketball team?
Not really. Like I said, the Mavs a little bit, and I watch the Lakers, but I have a lot of, I guess, favorite players. But now as I get older, and which is crazy because I'm just 21, like a lot of my guys are, retiring. Like D Rose was my favorite, and he's gone now. And I was a big Melo fan, so Melo's retired as well. I also love Gordon Hayward, and he's done too. So it's just crazy. There are a lot of guys that I grew up watching playing on 2K. I love watching they're done now. Like I know this may be random, but I was a big Kyle Korver fan as well. Okay. So
Kyle Korver, man. A lot of people don't know about Kyle.
They don't. Killer Kyle, man.
He's for real though.
One of the best catching shooters to ever do it, man.
On Atlanta.
I love Killer Kyle, man.
He was with the Cavs for that little minute.
Yeah, there's I got a lot of favorite players, whether they're done now or still playing. But like I will say this too. I really don't watch basketball like I did growing up, especially in the regular season. I think the league did a fantastic job with the in-season tournament a few years ago, and I guess I will say I've started getting a little bit more engaged with stuff like that. But when it comes to playoff, I'm definitely not missing anything. But like regular season, I guess just because I'm getting older, and as well, there's so much on my plate now than there was when I was growing up. I don't watch games like I did, but I definitely, basketball is my first love, so I still try to watch when I can.
I feel you. So what's your thoughts right now on going on to the NBA, man? Beginning of the season, different teams. Thunder 7-0, still the only undefeated team left. Bulls started 5-0.
Yeah.
Spurs started 5-0. What's your thoughts, man? What you thinking right now?
It's fun, man. It's super fun. You look at the guys that the Spurs have. Shout out my guy Julian Champagnie out there. He's been balling. But I think they knew the sky was the limit with Victor.
Yep.
And what he could do, you just have to create the right pieces around him. Guys that could, shoot on the perimeter. Guys that could also help out in the paint. Guys that could facilitate the right plays to get him the ball when they needed him to score. And then as well, just allow Victor to be Victor. He's a 7-foot, demigod. And he can do everything. And so it comes to the point, how do you stop that? I don't know. Because when he first got in the league, I was like, okay, I've seen these tall guys come in with some abilities to move around and be lengthy and versatile, but how much does it ever work? Hardly ever. But he's killing it.
He's killing it. Like,
I don't know how you stop it. I really don't.
I don't. There's really no way to stop it.
It's only him stopping himself. Like when he's missing shots or turning the ball over at this point.
And his team, if his teammates not knocking down shots too. Because I was watching the game, they first lost when they lost to the Suns. The Suns' strategy, every time Wemby touched, they doubled. Whether it was one-on-one in person and help, or they just literally was doubling him. But his teammates just weren't knocking their shots down. Like, he was kicking out, they just weren't hitting shots. So, you can't do nothing if shots not falling, you know what I'm saying? But there's no other way to stop him.
Yeah, literally.
No other way to stop him. I don't feel like there's no one-on-one that's big enough to just guard him one-on-one. Then even if you game plan for him, the Spurs have other players around they can. As long as they're making shots doing their job, the game still can be won.
Yeah, they have a great system out there in San Antonio. I know Pop is done. I can't think of their new coach name, but I've been, seeing him. He's been doing a fantastic job. So, San Antonio looks to be on the uprise whenever, I don't think, has De'Aaron Fox returned yet? I don't think he has.
Not the games that I've watched.
When he does, that's going to obviously be an ignition for them to do a little bit more, especially in the fast break. It's just been fun this year, man. The Thunder look good. Obviously, shout out my man Jalen Williams out there from Arkansas as well. they've been balling, and they have a great rotation. Like, they just coach so well, great rotation, a great team chemistry. They all, want to just lift each other up and play team ball, and I think that's what I love about the Thunder as well. No, they're not selfish. They're just out there trying to win, and they're looking like they're going to be on the. I know it's still early, but they're on the rise to win back to back. So, but I would say this as well about the league. I'm a big Dame fan, so whenever he gets 100% healthy and returns to Portland, I'm big excited to see that.
That's gonna be a great return. Great return.
So, and when Jason Tatum comes back, and Halliburton and Braun, like, there's so many guys that are out.
That's not playing. Yeah, I forgot about Jason Tatum. Well, I knew he wasn't playing, but I just forgot how major his injury was. Like, he's gonna be out for a minute.
Yeah, there's just so many guys that are out that the league it's so fun to watch right now. All these like AR has been killing it with his points for the Lakers. Luka had I think a 40 point something the other night.
Man,
they've been killing it, man.
DeAndre Ayton, Rui, and Nick Smith Jr.
Yeah, Arkansas, man.
I know he went to Arkansas too. Yeah, they went crazy the other night when Luka, Braun, and AR didn't play. I think they all of them had 20 points each.
AR from Arkansas too, man. Arkansas got a lot of hoopers, man. People don't know about it.
Hey, for real though, he got Coach Cal down there, man. Hey, what Arkansas make to what? Elite Eight last year?
Sweet 16. Should have made it to the Elite Eight. A heartbreaking loss to Texas Tech, and it'll never empty out of my heart from that night. I'll never forget it. It was a heartbreaking loss, man. But yeah, Arkansas, we got Joe Johnson, Sonny Weems, Sidney Moncrief, Bobby Portis, a lot of guys that come through Arkansas, man.
Hey, no, fact though. I ain't know that many people came to Arkansas. I got some guys coming in like Future guy. You got DJ Wagner. What's buddy now? I love his game. Number 11, Kevin Knox.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah.
Who else? Malik Thomas, freshman coming in.
There's a lot of guys. Khalil Ware out there for the Heat. He's from North Little Rock too. Just we've had our guys come through Little Rock and Arkansas in general, man. It's Arkansas got some basketball history.
It's tough, man. Yeah. It's tough, man. But I heard you say you St. Louis
Cardinals, man.
Yeah, that was your favorite baseball team. But before we get into that, man, what's your thoughts on the World Series, bro? Did you watch the World Series?
Definitely.
What you would think?
It's just crazy. It's probably, I think, because I'm a Cardinals fan, and I may be a little bit biased, and not really. I mean, the 2011 World Series was, I think most people probably argue, the greatest World Series ever. Maybe 2011, 2016, and this year was pretty darn close. I mean, 7 games. I remember, I can't remember, I think it was game 2, 19 innings, I believe. I literally, I think I got hooked in about the 11th inning, and then they went to the 12th. I think I just got to stay up. I can't miss this at this point. So I stayed up till like 2:50 in the morning, and it was just fun to watch that type of intensity in baseball. I really wanted the Blue Jays to pull it out. I thought they had the chance to.
I thought they were gonna pull it out.
Yeah, they were up 3-2 at home, and then Freddie, walk off in game 2, and they hit a game. I want to say in the 9th they tied the game with a home run as well. Saturday. Just a crazy World Series, man. It's what baseball is all about. That's what the playoffs is all about. That's what Game 7 is about. And so it was a fun World Series. I know it was really heartbreaking for Blue Jays fans to be that close and not be able to get it done. But from a neutral perspective, it was fun to watch. It was good baseball. It was historical baseball. And both teams really played their heart out. They played to the highest level, and that's what the World Series is about. As a neutral, you really hate when you get those in any sports. You get the finals, the Super Bowl, World Series, Champions League final, whatever it is, and it's a team that you just know is going to just dominate.
I hate games like this, a lopsided championship, because it feels like that. I'm not knocking the other team because you got to win to get there. You definitely want to get there. At the same time, were you truly the best team that could have made it to this game? You know what I'm saying?
So, just a great World Series, man. Great way to end the baseball season. I tuned out of the regular season a few months ago. My Cardinals had another underperforming year, but playoff baseball is definitely a fun time, man.
Facts, man. World Series, I really enjoyed it. Me personally, I watch baseball, but I'm not just let me catch this baseball game type of guy, but I definitely was tuned into the World Series.
Yeah.
I definitely sat down, actually took my time out to watch the games, analyze the game, is really just put my time toward actually watching the baseball games, man.
Definitely, man. Playoff baseball, there's nothing like it, man. And I only watch my Cardinals really much throughout the season. Nobody else, but in the playoffs, you got to watch. And the same thing about hockey. Like, I'm a Dallas Stars fan. I really don't even watch the Stars too much in the regular season. But when the playoffs come for hockey, man, I'm seriously like, if you've not watched playoff hockey or people have not watched playoff hockey, just turn it on. You're going to get hooked, and I mean it. You're going to get hooked.
I believe it, man. But me personally, cause about to get into these college sports, man. Ole Miss athletics. Me personally, before we talk about that, I always enjoy watching college sports more, regardless of whether it's football, baseball, basketball, volleyball, just anything. I just love watching college sports. Like, I just feel when you're watching it, or even just at the game in general, you can just feel that passion that they're playing with. Like, they out there playing like, okay, I done made it to the next level. Now I'm trying to take it even farther. I gotta give it my all and go the hardest that I can. So I just always love college sport because of that reason right there, man.
I agree with you, man. Especially growing up in the South, is this SEC thing, man. It's the slogan is, it just means more. It literally does down here. It
does, bro. It does.
And it's not just football. It's men's basketball, women's basketball. Like, I know you're part of the women's basketball team, which I told Will this, but it's insane. We are the number 12 team in the country, but we're finished 6th in our conference. There's 5 teams ahead of us, but we're number 12 in the country.
Yep, it's crazy.
The SEC is deep in every sport, in baseball and track, and volleyball and softball. It's so deep.
It's deep, bro. And then with the addition of like Texas and Oklahoma, that just made it even more. Like it just. You say I was just 2 teams, but when you already have 6-7 teams that compete every year, you added 2 more. Now there's 9 teams.
Yeah, and Texas is, I guess, most people probably consider the premier program in college sports, but then OU as well, a great football history in their pedigree. Throughout the years,
definitely known for softball.
Yeah,
softball,
they just
Oklahoma.
They didn't win this past year, but before they won 4 straight national championships. Their basketball, they've had Buddy Hield and Trae Young and Blake Griffin over the last decade or so. So OU brings in a lot, and so does obviously Texas with their history and what they do. But like, when you bring in those 2 programs, like you said, it just elevates things, literally. And so this is the best conference in the country.
Thanks,
and it's not close. And the best athletes come down here for a reason, because they know you're going to get the most competitiveness and then play against the best, and which is going to help you when you get to the next level. So I love being a part of the SEC, and I'm glad that I grew up in it as a Razorback fan too.
So, okay, what's your thoughts, man? Ole Miss. We can talk about football first. Ole Miss football, Trinidad Champions, man. We're 8-1 right now.
Yeah.
What you thinking, man? What our future looking like?
Future looks good, man. The Trinidad story is one of a kind. I was here in the summer watching them throughout fall camp. And Austin Simmons deserved that starting job. He got it for a reason. But I watched Trinidad, and I saw a competitor. I saw a guy with great tangibles, great ability to read the field. Obviously, his running abilities are very, very good, and he showed that throughout fall camp this year. I, in the back of my head, knew if something was to happen to Austin for some reason, that Ole Miss would be just fine with their back quarterback. Now, I will say this. I did not expect Trinidad to just be balling like he has this season. He's tied Johnny Manziel and only behind Jaden Williams for guys that have, I think 4 straight games with at least 200 or 300 passing yards and at least 50 rushing yards. They're Jaden Daniels and Johnny Manziel Heisman winners. So,
exactly.
You will see what that lands at the end of the season. But he's just been balling this season, and Ole Miss and Oxford has really brought him in. You see the Trinidad flags all around town and on social media. They've really just treated him like a son, and he's embraced it. He's embraced it, and he fits this system, and it really speaks to what Lane Kiffin and Charlie Wise Jr. really look at in terms of the transfer portal. They're not just going out there getting guys because they are highly ranked or because they play good at a previous school. No, they took their time to evaluate what he did and what could he bring to this program, and he's done it. And the team has really rallied around him. The city and fans have rallied around him.
Facts.
And he's doing it on a week-to-week basis. That Georgia game really hurt because he performed so well. I know he had a few bad throws close to the end, but for a guy for his first ever true road start in the SEC to go to Sanford Stadium and do what he did, it speaks volumes. And so he's done a fantastic job. The offense has done a fantastic job. The offensive line has performed so strongly this season. They've done well. Which is funny because coming in the fall camp, I thought that was probably, for me personally, the biggest question mark or biggest concerning point was the O-line.
Okay.
After the Kentucky game, I've seen, really no problems. The Washington State, they struggled a little bit, but since then, they've been on a roll. And, when you have great offensive line, you can run the ball like you can with Keywan Lacey and his open field ability. So offense is rolling. The defense has come together strongly since the Georgia loss. The Georgia loss was bad, but it seems like since then they came together as a team. They took accountability, and they've made some changes with guys like Andrew Jones, and they've really have come to life since the Georgia loss. And you're going to need a good defense if you want to make a playoff run. So Ole Miss is looking better right now defensively, and guys like Prince Will, Mama Yellen have stepped up, and Andrew Jones and Sontarian Perkins and Will Eccles. Will is killing it, man. Facts. He really is. Will has been killing it. So when you have guys that are just dogs and have great abilities to go with the dog mentality, you have rights to be successful, and it's all, I think, coming together for the right point for the defense. So Ole Miss looking good, man. Looking good, man.
That's good, man. Hey, I definitely agree with everything that you said. I don't feel like nobody expected Trinidad to come in and just be as dominant as he is now. Like it's like, so how could you? Because coming like not knocking D2 because any level of football after high school is high level. It's experience regardless of where it's at. But like you said, nobody expecting the D2 transfer to come in. They think he gonna come in, be nervous, be intercept. They thought Austin Simmons gonna come right back and start again. But hey, I'm proud of him. You know, and like not even knocking Austin Simmons because we know everybody that knows and that's been keeping up with Ole Miss and Austin. He got the skills and the talent to be a great quarterback. A great quarterback. It's just opportunity. To Trinidad was presented the opportunity, and he's
taking it.
He's taking it, man. But I saw a picture the other day. It was like after the game, Austin Simmons and Trinidad, they were like right there talking together. Like I don't feel like because I don't know Austin Simmons personally, but just off of media interviews and just different things like that, he doesn't seem like a type of person that'd be like, I don't want to see Trinidad thrive because he's starting out. He seems like the type of person that's gonna be there for him. That's gonna show him, like, I didn't be here. This is what you need to do. This is how we do things, different things like that. Just guide him in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
Austin has a great mentality, man. I'm very close with his father, and his father's always, he has coaching experience at the highest level, and he just has a great mentality. And no matter what, he's going to be a great teammate. He's a great person. Austin's low key. He's like a little. He's low key, he's quiet, he, handles business, stays out of the face of everything. And so it's definitely been a good feeling for Ole Miss fans to see him still be an assertive and good teammate for Trinidad. And so, Trinidad's going to stay balling, and, whatever happens. But regardless, if Austin doesn't come back to start this year, this will be his team next year, and it still is his team. He earned the starting job before the season started. His coaching staff believes in him. His players believe in him, and so we know what he can do. It's all going to work out for Austin regardless. But Trinidad's been killing it, man. They really have. And the play calling's been great for him too, man. I don't mean to interrupt, but play calling's put him in really good positions as well.
But they just with Lane Kiffin in his staff anyway. Though, I feel like out of all my times I've been watching Ole Miss and Lane's been the coach. His play calling and play design doesn't he makes it easier for the quarterback. Like he know what reads that he wants you to read and what you want to look for first, or he know, okay, we're gonna put this in this motion, gonna fake this player out, do this thing, do this, show this defense specific thing, man. So Lane Kiffin and his coach staff definitely have some great play calling. And going back to the defensive side, like I said, defense, they've been picking it up these past few games. They've been coming together.
Yeah.
Been getting stops. Secondary been looking better.
Yeah. Shout out Jalen Braxton, man. He's come in and really balled out. And Kapina Gushkin's been balling all season. He's really a good open field tackler. And Wade Williams has been doing a little bit better as every week goes. So defense is balling, man. They really are coming together right now. You need them to in November. This is when times get, a little bit dirty. And this is when teams really show up to see who's going to be a threat in the postseason. So,
so I'm going to ask you this question. Based off our last two games, which is the Citadel and the Egg Bowl, right?
We got Florida, Citadel.
Florida.
I
forgot Florida. Okay, Florida. Okay, Florida, Citadel, and then Egg Bowl. So based off our last 3 games, where do you feel that we would be ranked at going into the end of the season? Hypothetically, just saying that we win out. We go, what that'll be, 11-1?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It all depends on what teams in front of them do.
Facts.
That's the reason that they're still in number 7, because Georgia's only lost to Bama. Bama hasn't lost since their first game against Florida State. Ohio State looks to still be the team to beat. Oregon's right in front of Ole Miss, and other than the Indiana loss, Oregon's been really dominant this season. Went to Happy Valley earlier this season and took care of business. It depends on what teams in front of them do, honestly. Ole Miss can go 11-1, but if nobody else, really loses, then I think that time will come. A&M and Bama or Georgia may have to end up meeting in the SEC championship game, which may push Ole Miss in front of somebody if they finish undefeated, because it kind of looks unlikely for Ole Miss to now get in the SEC championship game. It could have been possible if LSU beat A&M a few weekends ago, and maybe Carolina took care of Bama, but now but if you're an Ole Miss fan, it really, I don't think it should matter.
It really shouldn't, because
if you get in the playoffs and you have a home field game,
yeah, we gonna be different. I feel like we different. Besides top 12, I feel like we gonna be top 10.
Yeah,
I say we finish. I said this last week after last week. I said we'll probably finish like maybe. What are we 7 now? I could see us probably finishing 7.
Yeah,
I said between that 5 to 7 range.
Yeah, so Oregon and Ohio State, it looks like they'll probably be in the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
One of those teams may affect some things, but I think there are things that happen in maybe some of these championship games. I'm trying to think who's in front. I know Ohio State's 1.
Indiana's 2.
Yeah, Indiana's. Ooh, forgot about Indiana. Yeah.
But see, my thing with teams like Indiana, not knocking nothing they've done. You're undefeated. You deserve to be ranked. But you can't compare an undefeated Indiana team when their only major win is Oregon to an undefeated Texas A&M team when they didn't beat. Like, you can say LSU's not the best, but they're beating LSU. They've beaten, just other teams. Like, my thing is, how can you measure up the different wins, like the strength of schedule within the different conferences? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That just be my question.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit harder when you're in the SEC. Every weekend you're playing either a ranked opponent or a team that may not be ranked but can defeat you on any given weekend.
Exactly.
But I don't really like knocking other teams and other conferences because of that. I mean, they can't do anything about that.
Yeah, I'm saying you can't control it.
Indiana's beating who's in front of them. They went to Oregon, which is a tough place to play, and they defeated the Ducks and Dan Lanning up there in Eugene. And that's a great quality win. And so I think that Curt Cignetti learned what he needed to do better from last year's playoff run and how they got stomped. But I think Indiana can compete with really anybody. Honestly, I think they have the coaches to do it, and they have the players to do it, and they've done it this season. They did it last year, and so they have a great defense as well. Their secondary and linebackers play outstanding ball coverage. So I wouldn't knock Indiana. I get what you're saying, though. It is kind of hard to gauge how a team like maybe last year Ole Miss goes 9-3, or Carolina or Bama, and they don't make it because they lost to some teams in the conference. But I think that's what the 12-team playoff is for, and how is it going to be a little bit more competitive for teams like other they maybe not get into the top 4 normally to have a chance. So it should be fun for all teams. I think Ole Miss is in great position now, which is funny. Before the season started, most people were looking this as a rebuild year. You lost so much from last year, and you didn't make the playoffs once you really were supposed to with the team that you had. And this year, Austin was coming in. You really didn't know how much you're going to get from a lot of new transfers and a questionable secondary, questionable O-line. Now, a few weeks later, this backup Trinidad Chandler comes in. What's the next step? And here we are, November, man, 8-1. So it's a great story.
Facts, but it's Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Bama at 4, Georgia, Oregon, Ole Miss 7, then BYU, Texas Tech. No, Notre Dame come in at 10. I did not know that. Oklahoma at 11, and then Virginia come in at 12.
Yeah.
So, okay, so if it was to end right now today, your national championship game would be?
Oh, it's a great question. If it was to end right now today, national championship game would be. I think Bama could do it. I really do mean that. I think I'm very high on Kalen DeBoer. I think Ty Sims has looked good this season. I think they have the moments where can we go do it in the last 2 minutes, and they've done that this year. I think Bama has a chance to make the national championship. The other team, I don't know, honestly. That's a great question. I think obviously Ohio State can, but I don't know how sold I really am on Ohio State. I know that may sound crazy. Some people, they're undefeated, they're number one team in the country. But I think when moments get rough, are they going to be able to fight adversity? And I think they can, but at the same time, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
It's a great question, man. It really is. I'll go Ohio State and Bama, but I also wouldn't be surprised if neither one of those teams do end up not making it. So it's open. Like as much as it may sound crazy, and I'm not being biased because I go to school here, but Ole Miss could do it. They could.
I feel like Ole Miss got the potential to do it.
They just have to not get in their own way, and they'll be fine. But anybody else can do it. You know, Georgia has shown they can do it. They just got to get past Bama in some way. Or Dan Lanning can do it at Oregon this year. I think Mike Elko understands the task at hand for A&M this year, and he's a heck of a coach. And Marcel Reed has been killing it, and their front defensive line.
Texas A&M been balling.
Yes, they have. So A&M could definitely do it as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Elko gets them to the national championship game, but I think Kalen DeBoer has really been on one lately, and I think Ryan Day has a pedigree of last year and another team that's really just thrived and getting to another national championship game. So I'll go Bama and Ohio State for right now.
Okay. I like that. I like that national championship game. That wouldn't be a bad national championship. I'm just looking to see, like, because I haven't even watched or heard anything about BYU, but they undefeated. So, I mean, they doing something good.
They beat Texas Tech, I believe, and you know, they've had a great year out there in Utah. They've been looking really strong. So yeah.
No, they play Texas Tech Saturday coming up.
Okay.
It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be a great game actually. And then Notre Dame sneaks in there at that 10 spot. I didn't know they have made it up there that far.
Yeah,
they started to pick it up.
Yeah,
like,
they did. After the Arkansas game, they got some momentum and have been rolling since. And they need it when you're independent like they are, and you don't have a conference game or a conference championship. Your losses are very critical. So they've stepped it up, and Marcus Freeman's done a good job out there too, man.
Man, but just staying on Ole Miss sports, man. What's your thoughts about just different Ole Miss sports, man? Got basketball season coming up, got softball season about to come up, man. Yeah. So what's your thought, man? What you think we looking like this year?
It's going to be another great year for Ole Miss athletics, man.
Okay.
It's been the best period of Ole Miss athletics, really, honestly, in the history of Ole Miss, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it all. But you know, Coach Yo has done it again in the portal this year, and I'm excited to watch this Team 51 develop and mature with more on-court chemistry. But yesterday was very telling, and she said something in the press conference that was very telling. She was basically saying that, a lot of people have basically said she doesn't want her team to shoot threes, and she was like, no, that's not the case. I've just never felt like if you can't shoot threes, then don't shoot them. Well, with the Latasha Lattimore that I saw yesterday, Cody yesterday, this team has some girls that can pull up and consistently hit the tray ball. So, I think an Elite 8 run and more is definitely in the works for Ole Miss and Coach Yo and Team 51. I think Chris Beard and his team had a lot of resetting to do after what they lost last year.
Yep.
But the guys that they have, I just think they need some adversity to hit them, and they're going to be just fine. I think they also need to develop, obviously, more time on the court together, and who's going to be that go-getter, go get a bucket when you need to.
Facts.
So when they figure that out, they'll be just fine.
Facts. I said the same thing versus St. Mary's. Like, I'm not going to say that they didn't want to go get that bucket, but it was a lot of ball movement, then last second just got a jacket shot up in the shot clock. Like, but definitely, they need to find that guy. Like,
and Malik D is gonna have to be that guy. Like, he really is.
Yeah, but you, I definitely agree with that. But they also gonna need that guy.
Yeah,
like
as a guard.
That's just gonna come down. I'm taking this game with a shot. You know what I'm saying?
I think AJ Storm can be that guy. I watched AJ a lot his freshman year at St. John's with Mike Anderson was there. I know his abilities. He can be that guy.
Yeah.
Whether or not it works in this system, in this conference, we'll see. But I think AJ can be that guy.
Okay.
But yeah, Ole Miss is thriving, man. Basketball, softball went to the Women's National World Series last year. Bianco and his team were just a game away from going to Omaha. I've watched the baseball team pretty close this year. They look good, healthy. A lot of returning guys, some young guys that are going to really be really good as well.
Okay.
Volleyball is in the midst of their season right now, doing as best as they can. They made the NCAA tournament for the first time last year, or I think they made the second round for the first time last year. Bree Henry has them rolling too. I think they're going to get on the right track. It's just a tough volleyball conference too, man. So
facts, bro.
I think they're going to get on the roll. So
SEC just.
It's it, man. It's it.
It's just it, bro.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I remember last year, I had Coach O husband, Mr. Kelly, on the last episode. I was telling him last year, like, I done been to high school volleyball games around my high school, things of that nature. But, like, coming from the high school I came from, like, yeah, we got volleyball, but people don't really just go to volleyball games. So it's not that just real exciting environment. Yeah. But I came up here last year for my freshman class. He wanted us to go to a sporting event. And I was like, I'm not going to go to no football, no basketball game, because we had to write about it and tell our experience. I'm going to go to a game that I've never, like, been before. Yeah. So I went to the volleyball game. I'm thinking,
so live.
Bro, I'm thinking it's just going to be a volleyball game. It ain't nothing. Like, I'm going here, watch the game, probably be a little competitive, but this is going to be it. No.
Yep.
No. They just as turned it as a football game. Yep. Just as turned. Got the music playing, the frat boys in there, stadium packed. And I chose a good game because I went to Texas A&M when they played Texas A&M last year here. Yeah. So, like, just if the environment was something that I never experienced before at a volleyball game, like, I went back to another game. Yeah. Like, it was just so crazy just to be in the Gillum Center. Like, it's not even that big, but the seats full, every seat full. It's loud, then packed, standing up the whole time, just like if I was at a football or a basketball game. Like, it just surprised me how similar the culture is, whether it's football, basketball, volleyball, whatever sport it is. The culture and the fan and the excitement of the game still gonna be the same.
Yeah, Ole Miss fans are passionate no matter what sport it is, and that comes with success. And so, when you're winning, they're gonna support you, and when you're not, they may not. But Ole Miss fans, when they see something good, they're gonna go out and support it. And like you said, I love going to the volleyball games when I can get out there. The crowd and environment is always fun. And we lost a lot after last year. Sasha Radliff is gone. And Nia went to LSU, but this team is still really competitive this year.
Definitely, man. But that's all I got for you, my guy, on this episode, man. You could just, what I do for all I get for all my guests, you can just give the people any shout out that you would like to shout out, let them know where they can find your podcast, just all your content, just things of that nature.
Yeah, well, you can find The Daylan Show on YouTube at The Daylan Show, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio at The Daylan Show. You can search up The Daylan Show on any internet browser, and my Buzzsprout should pop up, and you can just check us out there and make sure if you see the YouTube, subscribe, and give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, The Daylan Show, all that good stuff, man. It's I appreciate it a lot if you did. I'm able to have more conversations because people support my journey. So if you're able to do that, take that one little second to just subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. Shout out to my mom, Ashley, my grandmother, Adele, my sister, Alex, my god sisters, Allie and Ari Rain, godmom, Alex, godfather Alex, and godmom, Andrew. Shout out to the whole Roulette family, friends here. In Oxford, Alex, Gabby, Morgan, Day, Caleb, Ayana, all the good people. So many, I'm not gonna shout out y'all, but I love all y'all. But shout out to the friends and family. Y'all mean so much to me, and I couldn't do this without you. So shout out to y'all, man.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you, my guy, for coming on to be on the show, man. Like I said, I just appreciate you coming on the show, being a guest, man. Y'all go tune into my guy podcast, man. We just trying to blow, man. Two people with similar vision, man. Just trying to get our name out there, trying to do some good for the world, man. Be a change, be an impact, man. But one thing I do before I close out every show, everybody know I do BeDifferent quote of the week, man. Just for this episode, just to give people a little motivation at the end of the show, man. And this week quote is: focus on making yourself better, not on thinking that you are better, man. Like we just told her, like we've been talking about on this show, bro. Yeah. You gotta be consistent in the work that you put in. And you got to treat people right, bro, because you never know what people going through. You never know, who they could connect with, or how you may need them in the future. So you don't want to leave a bad impression on the person that you need them 5 years from later. Now they be like, nah, I don't want to do that for you. Maybe you caught this attitude or being rude to me in this way from a fashion, man. They can hold you back and stop you from accomplishing something, man. So just try to focus on being a better person, for yourself, for your dreams, just for other people around you, man, hey, things gonna work out. But for this show, I'm Solomon.
I'm Daylan, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for coming on the show, man. Y'all remember to tell everybody y'all know about the podcast, man. Remember, be different.